Well, good morning everybody and welcome to Rowing Chat. This month I am joined by Angelo Savarino. Angelo, welcome to Rowing Chat.
Thank you very much, Rebecca.
Now, tell the listeners a little bit about yourself and how you came to be a rowing coach.
Well, I really loved the sport when I was rowing. I did start quite late. I was 23, 24 years old, but I did love this sport. So, and I did row at club level for about 4 or 5 years, and then I was in a stage of my life when I was not enjoying my university studies, so I couldn't see myself sitting in an office behind a desk. So I did start coaching in Italy, in Rome, with my club. To be honest, just a bit for fun. It was in what was supposed to be my last year of my studies, and just wanted to try to have some pocket money, but also mainly to stay involved with the sport after my rowing career. So I did start a bit for fun, and I really enjoyed that. So I was coaching the junior girls, junior 14, 15. That was quite challenging, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm still in touch with some of these girls, so it was an important chapter of my life. And then basically I was dragged into the coaching by just I got involved so much that I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to do anything else. So gradually I became more involved with the coaching, moving from 2 or 3 sessions a week to every day of the week, and then I took the responsibility of the whole group in the next couple of years. So it was a gradual involvement, really, and I guess it's the same that happens to a lot of people, that they love the sport so much, they just want to stay involved. They want to develop their own club and to see the people they be training with succeeding and doing well. So it was really something that happened over the years. Then the next stage was when I thought that I reached a certain level within the club. I really wanted to progress further my coaching. So I did try to join. Well, I did join the national team in Italy, and that was 3 years in Piediluco and the national center, where it was a fantastic period. Because I was involved with juniors, under 23, seniors. Was a great experience. And then I moved to the UK at the end of this cycle. The reason that I moved to the UK was because I wanted to go back to coach a club, able to see the progression of a rower from the beginning to the highest levels possible, but also the life in a club is really different from the life in a national team. In a national team, coaches are mainly selectors. In a club, you have to do a lot of things, different things. It's not just the top end that is important, but everybody has its importance in a club. You might have people that they might be not hugely talented, but they could still be very vital to the life of the club itself. Yeah, so this is why I came to the UK.
Fantastic. So how many years have you now been at Newcastle University Rowing Club?
10 years, just over 10 years.
Fantastic, fantastic. And obviously things have changed a lot. For viewers who are not from the UK, Newcastle is a university in the northeast of England. It has its own boat race. It does a boat race against Durham University every year, and it's very well known for sending athletes into the national under-23 team, and also for doing well at Henley Royal Regatta. Have I missed anything out? Or maybe Henley Women's Regatta as well?
Thank you. Yeah, it's, that has been quite a journey for us, yes. The reason that I chose Newcastle as a place where to go was also the chance for myself to prove myself as a coach, because when I came, it was not much. There was just the idea of the university willing to invest in a coach, yes, but the club itself was very small. I think I had 10 senior men and 5 senior women. So and now we're about 30, 40 men and 20 women. So it's quite a big change, but also the standard is it is much higher. So I thought that Newcastle was going to give me the opportunity really to show what I could do. So it was a big challenge. Creating a squad, a team, an atmosphere that they could push the club to its limits, really. And
you had the backing of the university, which is essential for trying to make this change.
10 years is quite a long period of time, so I think things moved quite slowly, but consistently. So I think it's important to understand that my philosophy as a coach is even if I have a vision, and I'm okay to share this vision, it's important to have the management on board with you. So the backup, yes, there is backup, but also the backup went up consistently during the years because of the results. So it's yeah, we did have backup, but not immediately from the beginning. So we still have to show when we take a position what we are capable to do.
Yes. So do you have the backup of a committee which, excuse me, includes people who are not students, so they're permanent members, not this 3-year cycle of students arriving and leaving?
Right. Okay. So in the UK, and I think this applies to many clubs, there is a committee, a boat club committee that is made up just by students. So the club itself is actually run by the students.
Yeah.
My position is head of rowing. So what I do is I prepare the training program. I follow the athletes as much as I can, almost every session. I give feedback to the athletes on the water, on land. I try to mentor the coaches that are working with me. I am the link between the university and the club itself, and I act as an advisor for the committee whenever it's requested, and possibly even when it's not requested, to give my advice. But yeah, the committee is always very good. These guys are fantastic. They 20 to 24, 25 years old, extremely committed. They really enjoy what to do. This is the same for every club in the country. Now, what can change is the degree of success. Yeah, but that is normal. I think this is the kind of sport that, as you know, everybody is extremely committed and love it.
Yeah, very, very true.
Yeah, so in the committee, everybody is a member of the boat club and is a rower, or we might have sometimes people that choose to back down from the rowing because the course commitment or the academic is too high. They are in the final year maybe, and they rather concentrate more on their studies more than on the rowing, but they still want to be involved with the boat club. So they row more actively, but they are still involved with the boat club, keeping their position within the committee.
Fabulous. Now, when new athletes arrive at Newcastle University, What are they like? Do you have beginners as well as experienced athletes?
Yes, it is a big range of variety and abilities as well. So we do have junior internationals. We have people who went to Cooper, rowers who did okay or well national championships, and we have just club rowers. They maybe they didn't do that well, but this doesn't mean that they cannot be good in the team. But also we still have people that they did row either a school or in a club quite a low level, but they still want to improve themselves. This is for people that with experience, and we still got a beginner program that for us is very important. So we want to develop people that never rowed before, and they join the club because they like the sound of it. It is quite a social club with it's almost split equally between men and women. There is slightly more men than women, but not there is so much difference in terms of numbers. So the beginners, especially with the women, they've been a really important part of the club. Our first aid and the women's team is usually made up about between 40 to 50% of people that learn to row in Newcastle, and we are quite proud of it. So, as you can imagine, it's quite a challenge to try to bring everybody together. But this is another thing that I love about our club is that even people with plenty of experience are actually very keen to help and support people with less experience. So when we go out in match aids, they are always keen to give advice and suggestions and how to improve themselves or the others to just to have a better outing. That is the key.
So, is this a principle that you have brought to the club from Rome and from your own ideas, or is this something the club already had, which you inherited?
I think this is something that can set Newcastle slightly aside from the other clubs, or some other clubs at least. This has always been part of the Newcastle culture, to integrate the novices with the seniors, to try to be a big family. Obviously, at the beginning could be a bit awkward for a novice to come into the changing room, and you got people that maybe they've been 3 or 4 times to the World Championships, but it's still quite a friendly family, and there are some social events as well where everybody they go out together, they spend the night together, and it's quite fun.
And they teach you how to drink Yuki brown ale.
Well, this is one of the things that I try not to teach them to do, because there's plenty of opportunities in Newcastle.
Certainly, one of our most popular blog posts is called Drinking and Rowing, and it came from a student from another university who said, "I'm going crazy. I want a good rowing result, but they won't stop drinking. What do I do?"
Well, now this has been one of the main changes that that I made when I came. So I remember my first year, there were people trying to actually train 6:30 in the morning after a night out, but they couldn't last more than 20 minutes. So there was a hard lesson, and we cut the number quite drastically there. Not because I wanted to cut them, but just because it did happen. So it is a choice. My philosophy is that everybody has to give their best, and they have to prepare themselves to produce their best performance. Now, not everyone can be a world champion, so we have people that are trialing for GB, trying to make the under-3 team. But also we have people that are maybe their biggest target is just try to make an A final at the university championship. Maybe they're not even able to succeed in that, but that is not important. What is important is that they are trying to get there, and if they spend if they have the normal student life of people not rowing, they won't succeed in that. So they're aware of that.
That's good, and of course, as you say, it's the same for everyone. Now we have a question from a listener. James Temple from Edinburgh asks, what dietary advice are your athletes given?
Sorry, what?
Diet. What advice do you give them about what to eat?
What to eat? Well, this is not a stupid question. It's actually quite important. When there are students arriving to university and they're in the first year, maybe they haven't been cooking at all at home because parents have been cooking for them, or if they were in a boarding school, was someone else thinking to that. So it is quite usual that you got students rushing off training in the evening, going home, being really hungry, and then eating like the first thing that they can try. So I personally don't give any suggestion, but if there is anyone that needs an advice about nutrition, we have a nutritionist in the university that can help. I still give the handout as a handout a document that was given years ago by Darren Whiter. He's now coaching the lightweights, because the fundamental ideas of nutrition are still the same. So he's try to balance a diet with the right amount of carbohydrates, proteins, and sugar and fat. So the variety is important. What I try to say is not to go for the cheapest option, because not necessarily is the best one. So it's not about the volume; it's about like the quality of the food that you are taking. So even if it is expensive, I always suggest to have some red meat once or twice a week. Whenever it's possible, try to buy organic, because there are some, in many supermarkets you don't know what you're buying anymore, and to go for the cheaper option of like the food going out of date the next day, or going for just a big volume of pasta with cream, it might be not necessarily a good thing. So, but we do have people at the university that can support the rowers with that. So I'm sure that in Edinburgh it will be the same. It's a very good university. They do offer a sport degree that is fantastic. So I will go there to ask an advice.
Good. Now, can you share the document from Darren Whiter with me, and then I can put it on the blog afterwards?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Now, you told us that some of the athletes that arrive at Newcastle have rowed for Great Britain as juniors. What are the challenges moving a good junior rower up to a good under-23 rower?
Well, it depends. Assuming that the motivation is high, I don't have to push the athletes to train more. Possibly, I will ask the athletes to train better. It depends on the previous experience of this rower. How many sessions has been training in his club, in his school. What kind? It would be different anyway. The challenge, I think, is it could be more emotional than physical in the first year, because when we got juniors coming, and that is speaking in very general terms, sometimes all the freshers they get homesick occasionally, so there is a certain degree of flexibility to let them go home once in a while, every 40 days, to see their parents and family, friends. It is more a learning experience for them to manage themselves, so to take ownership of what they do. I would say the biggest difference between the school or university, or the club or university, is that, at least my opinion, the athlete has to be in charge of himself. So the coach is there to advise and support, but not to tell what to do. Well, I do tell them what to do, but it is more profound. So he has to find his limits, and he's the one that he knows where his limits are. So to push the boundaries, it is important. Be able to do that even more. So the biggest challenge is to work together, but to work towards the limits. And you know, it could be difficult. The first year might be difficult sometimes because the freshers are in a new environment with new people. Maybe previously they were used to be the biggest fish in their pond. Now they are in a club with more mature and experienced rower. They ship more. So so there is an element of comprehension as well for these rowers. But I'm not alone in this, because the teams are very good in that. So they really welcome the freshers, the juniors, ex-juniors to be part of the team. And I think clearly that takes a while, but I would say after the first month and a half, everybody feels the same.
That's great. So a question now from James Davidson. What's the hardest part when coaching juniors?
Well, when I was coaching juniors, that was back in Italy. I guess in that case there is not. It's more individual. It goes more with the person that you're coaching. I don't think there is one thing in particular. Dealing with juniors, possibly the Saturday afternoon in Italy was quite a big thing, so they didn't want to spend too much time down to the boat house trying to go out with their friends. Maybe the holidays, Christmas or Easter, so try to convince them to stay with the club during the training camp instead of going away. But that is not dissimilar to what happens with the students anyway at the university. So it's sorry.
Carry on.
The biggest thing, the difficult thing was to convince them to make some sacrifice in terms of to dedicate more time to the rowing. But that is a kind of catch that we all been through, I guess.
Absolutely. When I was coaching juniors, I found the biggest problem was getting them to understand the safety rules, because we were coaching on the Thames in London on the Tideway, and of course it's a fast-flowing tidal river, and they knew they were skillful in a boat, and it was very hard to get them to understand that the river was full of other people who perhaps were not as skillful as they were, and it was quite possible to get into trouble very quickly. And so we had a rule that you were never allowed to go out of sight of the coach in the coaching launch. Mm-hmm. And so we would wait we'd go around a corner and wait until everybody had arrived, and then if you were at the front, you had to stop as well. And of course, some of the faster athletes found that very frustrating. But
Mm-hmm.
The ultimate sanction was to say, right, Angelo, you were naughty, you didn't follow the rule. Next weekend you can't come rowing. And it was because they would cry, and they would speak to their parents, and I would explain to their parents, and they would say, look, no, safety is really important. And it was really interesting that it was kind of the opposite of what you expected would happen.
Very good.
Now, if someone wants to come and row with you at Newcastle, they're listening now and they're a high school rower, what are you looking for in an athlete?
But the commitment is the first thing. Everybody is welcome to join the club, so there are no the commitment to do every session every day of the week. That is the only thing that I ask to everyone. That doesn't matter the level, what the standard. Clearly, this doesn't mean that everybody can make the first 8, because anyway in the first 8 there are only 8 seats available, so that would be the fastest boat. But you know, there is room for everyone really, as long as the commitment and the dedication is there.
That sounds brilliant. And do you have races for novices, and do you do a freshers boat in your boat race and things like this?
Yeah, for novices, one of the good things of the UK program is this category is BUCS. So they have a few events during the year as well, 2 events, BUCS Ed and BUCS Regatta, where novices can row in their category altogether. Then we got the boat race with Durham, where there are novices events as well for men and women. Then the ultimate scope for the novices is actually to make the senior team. So by the end of the year, we really want to have them rowing with the seniors as much as possible. So the idea is to find talented people there who never rowed before, but they have the numbers, the capacity actually to make senior boats in 1 year or 2 years' time. So this is what we try to achieve every year with Women's Henley and possibly Men's Henley if we are successful in the right recruitment.
We're going to take a short pause now to have a message from our sponsor.
Okay.
RowingChat today is sponsored by the Coxmates GPS. I've got one here. It's the latest speed measurement for rowing boats. Built with a touch screen, this neat unit gives you the easy-to-read numbers that you need on the water. Rate, speed, time, and distance. You choose the units, so speed can be meters per second or 500-meter splits. Distance can be miles, kilometers, or meters. The touch screen allows you to stop, start, and reset the counter easily. Coxmate designs rowing electronics to suit your needs, and the Coxmate GPS has 3 mounting attachments. One is the NKT bar. It fits your existing wiring loom mount. One is a suction cup that goes onto your boat deck, the stern canvas, or the gunnel. And the third is a clamp that slides into the foot stretcher, so you can easily take the GPS from one boat to another. In addition to this leading-edge electronics, the Coxmate GPS comes with software to analyze your workout stroke by stroke. You can see the speed graph of every stroke taken in the outing. Plus, it has mapping software that allows you to upload a planned course before the outing, and then the GPS will tell you if you deviate from the course. The Coxmate GPS is available from the Row Perfect shop. Priced at £150, it's under half the price of a speed coach. If you buy one today and mention RowingChat when you buy, we'll give you a 100% refund guarantee if you don't like it and return it to us. Now, back to RowingChat with Angelo Savarino. Angelo, what would you improve about university rowing in the UK if you had a magic wand?
That is a difficult question. During these 10 years, I saw university rowing in UK growing so much, and I think one of the main reasons has been the increasing number of professional coaches. So ideally, I would like to see more professional coaches involved in many different programs. That would definitely help. The competition BUCS grew up a lot during these 10 years. Now, to be able to win a medal at BUCS, you must have in your crew people that are actually challenging for a place in the national team. And maybe you might have even people that are making the World Championship not getting a medal. So it is quite a field now. What I would like to see probably is a system that is a bit closer to the American system, in the States, so less boat class to increase the competition even more. But that is not sure that is actually necessarily a good thing, because the difference that we got with BUCS, the University Championship, is the capacity for the rowers to row in any boat class they want. So we got sculling boats and sweep boats, so every boat really. And I think this is it is one of our strengths. Even if at the end of the day, in some events the standard might be watered a bit. It could be not as good as some other events, but still to win you must be actually quite good there. So going back to your question, I think a professional setup is quite important to develop UK rowing, because once the university got professional coaches, the coaches will be pushing the university to support more and more. So that can only be a benefit for the sport in the UK.
So if a university is having trouble finding a coach, whether a professional or a part-time professional, what advice would you give them?
When you say university, it depends if it's the boat club without support, or if the university is not that keen to support the boat club. So I'm aware that before I came, the past presidents in Newcastle, they wrote letters to the vice chancellor for 2-3 years, asking to employ a professional coach. So definitely try to get the support of the university is the first thing. Try to convince them of the benefits of what could happen if there was a full-time coach or a part-time. In the meanwhile, try to involve alumni, or there might be people in the region they still want to offer the services because of the sport. So it's just trying to be proactive in terms of having someone to support the club. It could be a chance for a part-time coach, even if a volunteer, to stay involved, to coach a crew or two. Maybe he won't be able to run the whole program, but he will be able to support a small number of athletes, and that can create a change in the culture, a positive change, to develop some skills and the course of to maintain a consistent training during the week or during the months. So that could be passed down to other members from this crew. So just try to see what is available and try to get there.
Fantastic.
Many coaches they might be just happy to help. Clearly, the older they get, it is less likely they can invest much time. But for a young coach, the opportunity to follow a crew during the year and maybe to race a BUCS Regatta, BUCS Head, I think is a great opportunity. So that shouldn't be underestimated.
Fantastic. So a question now from Elizabeth Kowalski, who is in Rochester, New York, America. If you had to give a coach advice on how to make a winning team, what would it be?
Probably I wouldn't use the word winning at all. I would just try to make the crew as fast as possible, because my opinion is the results come when you got fast crews. So that is the ultimate target is to go fast on the water. So, but I personally never use the word win or winning. gold medal or anything. I just know that if we train at our best, if we give our best in training every day, then we're going to succeed. I just have the belief in that. Now, you must still find a very fast crew that is faster than you. But the important thing is you go there, you do your race, and then if you find someone faster, you just go there, shake hands, and say congratulations, because you have to congratulate with someone that was able to beat you. If you gave everything, no? So you don't have any regrets. So the advice is start the season, and then you finish. At the end of the season, you assess what you did. If you had a good season, you have to understand what you did right. If you had an okay season, there will be some bits that you can improve. If it was a bad season, you must assess why it went bad, what went wrong, and what can be improved as well. So it's just try. It's like when you got a builder that start to build a house. You start from the ground zero. You start brick by brick to build the house. Then at the end, you can step back and see the whole thing. So never stop halfway. If you start something, you have to finish it. So the culture is it is important to have the right kind of culture within the club. It is work hard with a full belief that is going to pay off. Because when you start a season and everybody starts quite easy, and then you increase the load. To me, the turning point is always around Christmas.
Yes.
Because around Christmas, people then go home in holidays, so there is a bit of a break. So it is quite tough when they come back and get back to the point they were before Christmas. But that is the turning point. So yeah, just hang there and try to finish what you did start.
That's fantastic advice, and certainly from my experience in coaching university rowing, which is very limited, I found that the pressure came on after Christmas sometimes, particularly academic work, and I used to find, especially with women, that they would talk to each other and then they would decide that if one person wasn't going to row, that I wasn't going to go rowing if she was not going rowing, and things like this. Twice at different times I've had this situation where some talented but not necessarily the best athletes decided they would withdraw from the program, and it's always a challenge. But when I was in this situation, I just said thank you and goodbye very firmly, and then immediately started to focus on some talented novices. And so we had novices who came and rowed in boats that were much better than you would think that they were capable of rowing in, and they did a good job, and the team welcomed them, and they obviously accelerated their skill. And interestingly, I think there was after that regret from the girls who dropped out.
Yeah, this is a fair point. It happens quite often with the girls, occasionally with the men as well. If even in my experience as well, we had talented people deciding to do something else, even during the year. But if there is a small doubt, clearly I will try to talk to the athlete. I will try to see if there is something that I can do or the club can do to keep them. But if the decision is there, there is nothing that we can do about it. So we have to accept that. It is a great opportunity if for someone else to step into the first eight or the second eight, whatever. And I think we have to make that clear, because otherwise you might have athletes lacking motivation if they see they don't have anywhere where to go. So if we keep protecting people with the talent, but not very keen in pushing themselves, that can send people away. And as you said, you found very talented beginners who did a very good job, and they went on to have a good career. So this is quite important. We should never. This is why I said, in my opinion, motivation and commitment is the first thing that I look in a rower. So if they got that, then we work together.
Now, in many student rowing clubs, they maybe have one or possibly two professional coaches, but a lot of the other coaches are volunteers, and often they are students as well. Should the third-year students coach the novices?
Well, we had actually people in the third year helping the club, and they always did a very good job. So I'm really grateful to students. Not necessarily they have to be a third year; they might be even a first or second year. In our experience, we had students coming for different reasons. Maybe they were a bit naive in thinking that coaching they will have more time to do other stuff, and as it turned out, it was actually the other way around. But no, we. I think everybody who wants to follow the coaching path is more than welcome to do so. Clearly, we might have to give some guidance, or we have to mentor a bit more people with less experience, but not necessarily this is going to be a bad thing. I found very, very helpful the opportunity to have students working with us. They have an equally big commitment. So in the past few years, I had students who, as I said, for different reasons, for maybe physical problem, or because they couldn't see themselves progressing much as an active rower. They still wanted to do something with the club. They wanted to support the club. They wanted to give something back to the sport, and they did a fantastic job actually. So I'm really grateful when we have senior athletes that are willing to support us with the coaching.
One of the most powerful things I saw actually in a high school was Lady Eleanor Hollis a few years ago when Beryl Crockford was coaching there. She had a rule that the oldest girls always came to help with the new beginners for their very first outings when they were going out in singles for the first time. And she said it was one of the best tools to make sure that everybody in the club knew everybody else. Because when you arrived and you were new, you met and spoke to and knew the name of several of the girls who were in their final year at school.
Yeah, that's a very good suggestion to give to everybody actually.
Now, what excites you about the future of university rowing?
Well, as I said, I saw so much changing in the UK within the university programs. So that is, I can see the UK doing very well. And in the past few years, we've been challenging in Henley some of the best American programs. Occasionally winning, but making the finals or semi-finals. There are several clubs there doing a very good job. So this is quite exciting, really. So yeah, there are big arguments at the moment about the American programs recruiting so many foreigners, students. In fact, what was said during the Henley Royal Regatta live track was, if you're American, it's actually very difficult for you to make the first 8 or the first team, because there will be plenty of people from abroad, and it's actually, if you're American, you must struggle to get there. So, but that is what they. I mean, if they can do it, they will do it, and we're not going to change that. So it is just a bigger challenge for us in the UK. But yeah, I'm happy to take that, and and see what we can do.
Certainly, in other RowingChat guests that I have spoken with, they are acknowledging that the sweep-only focus of American university rowing is actually a disadvantage to the national team, because they find it very challenging to put out good sculling crews. And part of the reason is that people will scull at high school and then will spend 4 years at university with only sweep. Yeah.
This is why I say that maybe changing backs it won't be that such a good idea, because we still keep the sculling going, and there are several events backs for lightweights and heavyweights, men and women, where they can still race in their singles, doubles, and quads. So yeah, it is a different environment. Not necessarily is worse, just different. Once we will get more competition and more full-time coaches, it will be even more competitive. So yeah.
Now tell me, what was your most satisfying win that you've ever had?
I don't know. It's every race, every year is different. So, but whatever I'm going to say now, I'm going to upset some of my rowers.
Oh, go on.
But no, clearly winning is it is beautiful. When it happens, is you feel that you're on the top of the world, even if it's a local regatta. So it is a very good feeling. I would say that every time that we got our crews in front, that is a very good feeling. So, and on the moment, on the day, that is, yeah, you go home we're very happy. So we did have in the past occasion where this year has been quite good. Back said we did win quite a lot. But you see, the point is, you might win something, but not necessarily that is going to. The day after you win, you still have to rebuild and restart, and I found that quite difficult sometimes, just because you run out of energy. You put so much into your race, and then next day, even if it's the end of the season, you have to start to think to next season. So I would say every win is important, possibly even equally important. You could compare World Championships to Henley Royal Regatta, to Henley Women's, or BUCS. It depends on the moment. The first time that I raced at BUCS, it was very good when we won the quad, because it was good group of rowers. But then every year we managed to do okay. Doesn't matter if you win the gold. It could be even winning a silver or a bronze medal. The first time our 8 did okay, we came 4th. We were very pleased with that. So it's not about winning. As I said, it's about actually producing your best performance and being able to step on from that. So yeah, if you're in front, it's a good feeling. But there is no particular event I think I would like to mention.
Now, one of the things I think is most admirable in what you have done is your collaboration with Wade Hall-Craggs at Durham University. Can you tell the listeners a little bit about how that started and what it's like now?
Well, Wade has been really friendly from the beginning when I came. So he did welcome me to the Northeast in the region. We were able at the beginning for the first 2 years to do some training together as well. The problem was that the club grew up so much that it was not possible to combine the training, just because we did try. I think last time we did have, that was 7 years ago, we did have 4 or 5 group of 6 scullers in each group, and with the launches we were on the behind the last group, so we couldn't follow anyone who was in front. So this is why we couldn't do much training. Occasionally we still do some training together, after BUCS preparing for Henley, whenever it happens. I guess we have to take it as it comes. So yeah, we do have some occasion where we talk together and we exchange our opinion and our experience. We share our experience. So yeah.
You've created a centre of excellence in the northeast of England now. Am I right that there have been, you mentioned the northeast authorities now look at the two cities and the two university rowing clubs together?
Well, you say centre of excellence, I think is a bit too much. Yeah, probably. I don't know. I think you should ask this question to someone else that is down south. I like what we do. I think the key thing that we try to do is try to do our best, really, in everything, because as I said, at the end of the day, you can't regret anything. Even if you come last in your race and you did everything that you could, probably that is not going to, you're not going to feel very well in that. But at least you say, well, at least I did try. I gave it everything. Just found better people. The same for me as a coach. I try to do everything that I can to get everybody improving and be better rowers alongside their studies. That is the other challenge with students in Durham is a very good academic university. Newcastle is quite good as well. So the challenge is to combine the academic with the sport, but it is the same that is in any other university like Edinburgh, University of London, Imperial College. So every program has these challenges. So that is similar. There are many high performance programs in the UK, and I think it is actually very good.
I certainly wouldn't disagree with that. It's encouraging that there are so many people who are so committed academically and in a sporting way, and also that so many people now can learn to row at university, where perhaps they came from a school that didn't offer rowing, or a part of the country where there are no big rivers or lakes to row on. Now, I first met you, I think, at Henley, and it's one of the things that I think is something very special about rowing in Great Britain. What do you think about the growth of the Henley Women's Regatta and the opportunity for women at the Henley Royal Regatta?
Well, the main difference between the two events, apart the length of the course, is that likely a women's Henley there is opportunity to row even if for beginners. So sorry, there are the intermediate events, both academic and clubs, are for just about novice standard. Just above that, so there is a chance for an absolute beginner to row there and to compete against very good clubs and universities. So I think that is great. The fact that some of the schools can race Henley Royal is even better, because Henley Royal I found so beautiful, the fact that you got the juniors, the school, then the universities, then you got the clubs with people that have jobs and they try to combine a normal life with the rowing, and then you got the elite with the Olympians and people going to the World Championships. So to have everybody in the same place for a week is fantastic. I think it is a huge inspiration for the youngster, to look up to the seniors and to the heroes and see them rowing. So for the girls the chance to row there, including the juniors now, I think is a great opportunity. Really.
I want to last ask you about dropping out of rowing. There are three big barriers in rowing. One is when you leave school and go to university. One is when you leave university and go on to the rest of your life. Do you see a big dropout in volume of people between school to university and then from university to possibly club after university? And what could change that?
I don't know the numbers of people actually leaving school and going to university, but I guess it's not as big as people leaving university. Clearly, when you leave school, you are still able to do what you want. I saw students coming still willing to do rowing, but maybe they were just slightly pushed a bit too much from their parents. So going to university, they have the freedom to do whatever they want for the first time. And sometimes, occasionally, we lose rowers to the student life in that case. Yeah, there is some dropout of people leaving university. It goes with their career. If they go straight in a job, they might be difficult to manage the working hours, the commuting from the home to the place of work, and then rowing. With our alumni, most of them are still rowing in some shape or form. So it depends what level you're talking about. Clearly, to the highest level, there will be a big dropout in a way. But many of the alumni, students who graduate during these 10 years, they're still rowing. I think it's a natural thing as well. So it will happen. So it's still a pyramid anyway. So the very top end is not that big. So what is important is to have a big base of fans and supporters, people who, even if they row more actively, they can still talk to their friends and maybe convince their sons or daughters to take up rowing.
Yeah, I think that's a really acute observation, because it always frustrates me when I see the World Championships or the World Cup in a country where the television camera goes down the bank following the race and there are no spectators. Yeah. And whenever they have any of these events in the UK, the motorways are jammed because everybody wants to come and watch, and there is an incredible groundswell of support for almost any rowing event. Yeah,
that's true. There's a big difference from the UK and my home country, Italy. There, the spectators were only my parents and friends who were rowing, so there was nobody else who was actually coming to watch the race if it was not strictly involved in the rowing itself.
I'm not sure that Britain actually has a lot of other supporters. I think it's still just parents and friends. There are just a lot more of them.
Yeah, probably.
Now, thank you very much, Angelo. It's been wonderful talking to you. Can you let the listeners know where they can get in touch with you afterwards if they have any questions?
Oh yes, please. Yeah, there's not a problem at all. I'm happy to give advice whenever requested. If there is any question, feel free to contact me.
How should they contact you?
On the Newcastle University website, they can send an email to the head coach. I think there is a link to my email address there.
Fantastic. Now, our free prize draw winner for this month gets a free coaching session with Angelo. So if you want to be in to win, make sure you are subscribed to the Row Perfect newsletter by the end of September, when we will draw the prize. We welcome comments and suggestions for new episodes of Rowing Chat, or if you've got any further questions, ask us at info@rowperfect.co.uk. Past episodes are available online on our website /RowingChat, and you can follow us on Twitter, which is @RowPerfect, or Facebook, which is RowPerfect UK. Please subscribe to our feed in iTunes, SoundCloud, or on YouTube. Just search for Rowing Chat. And if you've enjoyed this episode, leave us a review and share this with your club mates, which will help other rowers get more enjoyment from rowing themselves. For more information about Row Perfect UK and its educational services for coaches, coxswains and athletes, go to rowperfect.co.uk. See you next time.
Thank you very much.